I had the wrong. Okay, we are live. Results on a Rampage. Let's get to the right banner. As you can see, I am not, as I repeat, not in my normal studio. I am in Canada. I've been at a mastermind for 3 days. Incredibly powerful. Also incredibly expensive in silly ways and important ways as well. I'll tell you that story in a minute. This is our second broadcast of Results on a Rampage. A couple of things have happened. This is our weekly broadcast, named after my LA Talk radio show, which was this afternoon at 4 p.m. Pacific time. So that was 2.5 hours ago. This Hangout is dedicated to results. This Hangout is dedicated to people that want to achieve massive results. My sort of personal brand is the execution mentor for those satisfied only with extraordinary results, and Results on a Rampage is all about doing that. So last time, I don't know why my nose itches, but anyway, last time we talked about something, I introduced something called the results equation, and we're going to talk about that tonight, not the whole thing. We're just going to talk about the first term of the results equation and talk about what that means. You need to mute your... It's okay. Joy was trying to get on. Wow. My mind... No, it's there. It's good. Okay, she's getting on her phone because we had a fun incident with the computer, what I'll tell about shortly. But anyway, the results equation has 5 terms. And we have about 4 things happening tonight. So the first one is I announced a contest to win one of these beautiful Results on a Rampage t-shirts. Those that came to my private event here a few weeks ago got these. These are really, really nice, soft cotton, alternative, very environmentally friendly, actually very soft and very cool t-shirts. So we'll figure out the winner is going to be the person who invited the most people that come to the show. And we're going to figure out how to measure that so that we get the right person a t-shirt. But anyway, that'll be a fun thing that we'll announce here in a little bit. The other thing that I said we were going to do is hold this weekly, dedicated to people who are achieving results, and we're going to use this broadcast as a motivator, a public accountability mechanism a little bit to accomplish amazing things. So one of the things at this mastermind that I was just at was about creating goals, accountability, and things that we're going to do. And so, for example, some of the things that I committed to do and that the group committed to do in this private group, and so none of the people here necessarily on the call, unless they're part of this group, which I don't think there any are. Well, there might be one of my clients that are in this group also, is, for example, committed to tell our personal story and practice it as part of our presentation that we do from stage 10 times between now and the next mastermind, and put it in the Facebook group. We also committed to creating a dollar value that we're going to do in our business. And those are extraordinary results, and the rule was everybody had to pick a goal that was really a stretch, that made your stomach sort of drop, and then put it in public in the goal, in the Facebook group that we're in, or excuse me, the G+ group. So that's one of the tools for accountability, is a public statement about your goal and a public statement about what you're trying to do. And so one of the things I asked you to do, if you were willing, was to put a goal that you wanted to accomplish in the next 90 days in the chat. And I know that Griswold did that, and he took a leap and put some goals in there, and I haven't looked at it today to review whether or not anybody else did. But the purpose of that, and I'm going to have Griswold on here with us in a minute to talk about his goal, but the purpose of that is to create some public accountability. Now, that public accountability is just one of many tools to help us stay motivated and achieve results. But what we're going to do over the next 5 Hangouts, besides have guests and talk about goals, is I'm going to go over the 5 terms of the results equation. Now, my face is green in my screen. I don't know if it's green on yours, but hey, I can't help the lighting in the hotel room. I'm in Sarnia, so that's the way it goes today. Green Cullen is running the hangout today. So Griswold, you can unmute your mic if you like, and tell us what your 90-day goals are that you're committed to achieve.
My 90-day goal is to have had 3 hangouts with guests.
To have 3 hangouts with guests.
Oh, hangouts on air, yeah.
3 HOAs with guests, good. What is the goal? In other words, hangouts about what? What's your target, or what's your what are they about?
I want to get to know the people, like publicly ask them questions, get to know their story, what makes them passionate. Most of the hangouts on air I see are all very, topic centric, and I want to get behind the topics to the people and see what really drives them.
Okay, so that's cool. So Griswold's public goal is in the next 90 days he's going to hold 3 HOAs with individuals that he chooses, and the purpose of that is to get to know them, get behind the topic. So he's made a comment that's valid. A lot of hangout series are about topics. So there's, I see some about health related things and fitness related stuff, and a lot of them are technical about Google related stuff and how hangouts work, and a lot of those kinds of things, and those are great. But his purpose is to get to know some people. So a couple other questions on that, Griswold. How are you going to select, how are you going to pick those people? And more importantly, when will you have those selections made?
Oh, I hadn't set a limit for when yet, and I'm getting into watching more hangouts, seeing the people that are willing to go on camera and talk about it, and the ones that I'm trying to connect with, the ones that seem like they would be interesting to get on a hangout for that purpose. So.
Okay, great. So one of the interesting things about our objectives, and it's one of the pieces that I teach when I coach people in terms of accomplishment, is that a goal is a wish until we have a deadline. So anyone that is putting your goals, putting your objectives in the challenge as we move along here over the next 90 days, think about deadlines. So for example, if I have a goal that I stated earlier of one of the goals that I made in this mastermind, each person committed to, was to make a video about the personal story that they use for connection purposes when they speak from stage. And they're going to, many of them need to practice that, and they're nervous about it, and like any of us might be. But they've committed to put at least 10 versions of that, to shoot it, put 10 versions of that in our private group for critique and for improvement over the next 90 days. Now it could be an extremely difficult goal for some people that are very uncomfortable about telling something about themselves, or about revealing things about their personal life, things that made them who they are and that have affected them in a big way. And so that could be really hard, and what's going to make it more powerful, or has made it powerful, is there's a deadline. So those will be in and done by our next hangout, and that is a little bit less, or not hangout, but our next mastermind. That's a little bit less than 90 days. So in creating impetus or momentum behind those goals, we have to put deadlines on them. All right, so anyone who has not created some objectives, some goals, I want you to take this really seriously if you're willing, so we can use this results on a Rampage opportunity to get out of our excuses mode, to get out of our telling ourselves reasons mode, to get out of the nonsense that we do mode, and actually, make a goal, create a goal and accomplish it in the next 90 days. And so we're talking July, August, September, by the end of September, roughly, and we'll be checking in. And so I invite you, whether you're watching this now or whether you watch this later on YouTube, to write down your goals. Let's participate. Let's make this a little participatory, because one, putting a date on something, so I'll have what done by when, so do what by when, and two, a public declaration. Those are two really strong and powerful motivators when we made a public declaration and we've put an end date on it. So I would really encourage you to do that to make this a useful exercise. All right, so let's go to the results equation now. I told you that I was going to give you 5 pieces of the results equation. And this is a proprietary thing that I've developed to help people in my coaching practice accomplish amazing things. So the first piece, and I talked about just the names of the terms in the equation last time, and we're going to talk about the first one tonight, which is up. UP, up. And it doesn't mean stand up, sit up, shut up, or any of that kind of stuff. Up means understand the present. Now, we spend a lot of our time often lamenting about the past, being frustrated of, where we are, how come we're not where we want to be, perhaps blaming, we talked about that on another Hangout. We create reasons around why we don't have what we want to have. So if I look at my monetary situation, my money, and I'm like, I don't have the money that I want in the bank, and I don't have the job that I want, and my outlook for future income isn't that good. Immediately, one of our tendencies is to start blaming things, right? We start blaming the economy, or my boss, my opportunities, my education or lack of education, the way I look, our handicaps or disadvantages. We start blaming things, and it's a regular habit that we get into. So understanding the present has 3 parts. So let's talk about the 3 parts of understanding the present. Because if we're going to accomplish any goal, and this is a writer-downer, if you're going to accomplish any goal and you want to go over there, let's just say take a trip. I'm in St. Louis and I want to go to New York. First of all, I have to know where I'm starting. Because if I'm starting a trip to New York and I'm in Toronto, in Canada, the direction I have to go is completely different than if I'm starting a trip to New York and I'm in St. Louis. And that's really obvious when you use a geographic example like that, and I want to go to New York. Starting in Toronto, I've got to go south and a little bit east, and if I'm in St. Louis, I've got to go north and east, so completely opposite directions. And that's really obvious there, but it is amazing to me, shall I say, how many people say they want to do something. They want to create a goal, they want to create more money, or they want to create a better job or a better life or whatever it is they want to do. And they don't really have a clear assessment of where they are. So let me give you some examples. One of the things that is often an issue with people who are looking for coaching is their health. Maybe they're not in the shape they want. Maybe they want to lose weight. Maybe they need to work out more. Maybe they need to change some habits, eating. Perhaps they're eating not healthy foods or something, or they have other habits around their health that are getting in the way. So perhaps they don't have the energy they want. All those kinds of symptoms manifest itself around the health. So in order to understand whether you're in St. Louis or Toronto, in health, you have to ask some different questions. So the first key in understanding the present, or understanding where you are right now, is where am I? Where am I now? Geographically, that's easy. I'm in St. Louis, I'm Toronto. My health. Okay, let's say there was a time in my life, in my 30s, when I had let my corporate drive push me to do everything, and I got way, 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 way overweight. So I was like 80 pounds overweight. And I was not happy with that, but I was just sort of ignoring it, and it gradually got worse and worse and worse, and so I can't remember how old I was. It's about 37 or 38. I finally just decided, you know what, enough. I'm not living my life like this. This is not me. And so I decided to do something about it. But the first key, understanding the present, is where am I? So the answer to that is I go get on a scale, and I get on it, and I honestly say, wow, I weigh 280 pounds. Holy crap. I weigh 280 pounds. That's like a billion. Okay, that's an honest assessment of where I am. Oh, wait a minute, I got heavy shoes on today. Or I'm wearing thick jeans today. That's a couple pounds off. I can do all that, but the honest understanding of the present is a true admission of where I am. Now, again, a weight is actually an easy one, too. It might be hard to swallow. I weigh 280 pounds. Holy moly, and that might be hard to say or internalize or believe. But it's a simple number. Something that's a lot more complicated might be my relationship isn't what I want it to be. Boy, that's a lot harder to quantify. I can't say I have 280 bad relationship points, or I have a negative $52 in my relationship account, like you might do with the bank. So numbers with money or with weight, they're easy to do. If you think about other objectives, like I want a promotion at work, where am I? Well, I'm in an analyst job right now, and I actually would like to get my supervisor's job, or I'm an analyst 4, and I want to get up to analyst 1, and that's 3 promotions, or maybe it's the other way around, 1 to 4. I'm honestly, where I am is, not only am I an analyst 1, but I've been there only 6 months, and the normal promotion time is a year, and you have to do these steps, and there aren't any openings. Well, that's a different assessment of where I am than, wow, I've already been here 2 years, I've been passed over once for promotion, and there actually look like there's some opportunities. So that's a truthful assessment of where I am. So the first part of understanding the present, or up, in the results equation, is an honest evaluation of where you are. Now, again, that might seem like a really simple and easy question, but a truthful, detailed evaluation of where you are on paper, next to your goal, is a key starting point. No excuses, no nonsense, no anger, no blaming, just here's where I am. All right, so that's the first step. So, for example, if I'm talking about the 10 times that I have to do the personal story video and put it in the group, now that's really easy for me because I do this all the time, but for some people in the group that's going to be really hard. All right, today I have 0 videos, and I don't make videos very well, and I don't make them often. Could be someone's predicament. So then they have to say, look, I've got to do the first 2 this week because I'm probably not even going to put the first one up in the group because it's going to be so bad. So I've got to do 2 takes this week to get one of them up there. Okay, that might be a true assessment of where I am. I have 0, and I'm really afraid of doing it. All right, so understand the present is first, where am I? The second part of understanding the present is, how did I get here? Now, this is an opportunity for us to do a lot of recrimination and blaming. It's an opportunity for us to yell at ourselves and feel bad, turn anger inward. I don't have enough money. Okay, I'm going to blame myself because I don't have the right job, right education, or I can blame the economy, all those kinds of things. So how did I get here is the question. Where am I and how did I get here? But this is not a blame exercise. How did I get here is a cold, honest assessment. So let's go back to my weight example when I was 280 pounds. And I said, okay, how did I get here? Well, I got here because I paid too much attention to my corporate path. I was working too much. I was not eating healthy. I ate too much fatty food. I did not exercise regularly, and I hadn't been paying attention to my weight, my diet, and my overall health for a few years. So that is a simple, honest assessment of how I got where I am. If you have a significant issue in a relationship, it could be, I haven't made regular relationship deposits. I have been unwilling to do the kinds of things that would make a relationship sing. If I'm at work and I haven't got the promotion, let's go back to the 2 examples. I'm the analyst 1 and I want to make it to analyst 4. Well, I haven't taken the test. I haven't studied the benchmark test for analyst 2 yet, so I need to do that. And where I am is I've got 8 months experience. I need to take these 3 tests and so forth. And so it's an honest assessment without any recrimination. And the reason is because if you get angry or you start blaming, especially external stuff you can't fix, the economy or other people or that rotten boss that I've got or all those kinds of things, that will sap all of your emotional energy, and at the end of the day you have nothing left. So you've got a bunch of anger aimed outward, and that will keep you stirring, and of course you won't accomplish anything. So the understanding the present term in the results equation, the first question is, where am I, honestly and without shading the truth. Number 2 is, how did I get here? And again, that's simply an honest assessment of how I got here. What behaviors, what patterns have led to my current place that I'm unhappy with the result that I have? I own this result. I'm here because I did or didn't do these things. That's fine. But this is how I got here. Okay, fine. Now the third one is actually the most important question. Most important, most important. Did I say most important? Most important. The third part is, why am I not moving toward my goal? Why am I not moving? So let's go back to the weight issue, because it's one lots of people struggle with, and it's an easy one to talk about. When I looked at my weight at 280, it didn't just magically appear there one day. And I didn't just magically become aware of the fact that I was heavy, like way overweight, and because I'd had to buy bigger and bigger clothes, and I had, looked at myself critically, over the time that had developed, and I hadn't done anything about it. I knew that it was unhealthy. I knew that I was buying bigger clothes. I knew that I didn't like it, but I hadn't done anything about it. And the answer to that question, why am I not moving right now toward that goal? What's going on there? The reason that's such an important question is because almost all the time it has to do with something in your head. I either don't believe that I can move. I'm afraid I'll fail. I'm afraid that I will try and I will fail, so I better not try because I don't want to damage that self-esteem kind of thing. Or I'm playing the blame game. So I'm shifting blame to external circumstances. And there can be a bunch of other reasons that are like that too. But the key piece here in this discovery phase of understanding the present is to become very comfortable with the idea of why you're not moving. All right, so let's review really quickly the three parts to the first term of the results equation. Understanding the present, there's three parts. Where am I? And this is, of course, with respect to the objective you're trying to do. Where am I here with respect to that place over there? How did I get here? And that's important not to blame, but it is important to understand if there are habits that you have or practices that you engage in or don't engage in that you need to change in order to, make some difference. And then the third is, why am I not moving? What are the barriers? What are the roadblocks? What are the attitudes? What are the feelings? What are the beliefs? Maybe there's some physical things. It depends on, excuse me, maybe it might depend on some circumstances. So, for example, if I need to learn a language, okay, in Canada, for example, in order to get any kind of a government job, you have to be bilingual because Canada's bilingual, English and French. So if I want a promotion in a particular department, I might very well have to learn French. And the answer to why I'm not moving might be because I don't want to learn French. I don't want to take the time. And understanding that could be very well, like, I've got this real resistance. I don't want to go to school. I don't want to learn another language. Well, then I can't say to myself, I really want that promotion, right? So where am I? How did I get here? And why am I not moving are the three pieces of understanding the present. Now, when we honestly answer those questions and put them together in a framework around a particular goal, that becomes a very powerful foundation from which to start. Now, a mistake that we often make is we try to do that in the large sense with our whole life. I'm unhappy with my life. How did I get here? Because everything around me sucks. Okay, why am I not moving? Because everybody's just in my way. That isn't a very helpful place to start goals from, and that won't result in much movement, right? You have to get really, really specific. So I don't like the amount of money that I make. In fact, what I would really like is next year to make $10,000 more than I made this year. Okay, what is that? That's about $800 or $900 a month. Okay, I need to figure out how to make $800 or $900 a month more than I made last year, this year. Okay, where am I right now? Well, that's a number. A number in the bank, a number in my paycheck. Why am I not moving? Well, I haven't put in the work. I haven't looked for the right job. I haven't upgraded my skills. Those are specific answers to a particular problem. So that's the end of the discussion of the first term of the results equation. I see that we've had a really active chat. I have to tell a story. Joy's not here on the Hangout today, and there's a reason for that. It's actually quite funny. As I mentioned at the beginning, I've been in a mastermind for 3 days, and I'm in a hotel room up in Canada right now running this Hangout, and she would be on the Hangout, except right at the end, there's Joy with her computer, right? Right at the end of the Hangout, or end of the mastermind, excuse me, today was the third day, I was doing a coaching call I was doing a coaching session with somebody. There's Joy back there crying. And the computer was on the table behind me. And as anyone who knows me knows, I talk with my hands, and I move my hand, and I hit a cup of coffee and spilled it on her computer. So we are not sure if it is dead. We have been trying to open it to check it out. It is only on a closed case, so in your mind you'd think it should be okay, but the screen did go white, and so we don't have a lot of hope. We're assuming we have a dead machine. So she's been taking the computer apart. It only happened like an hour and a half ago, and we went to Walmart and got some little tiny torque screws, and we're trying to open it and see if we can rescue a dead machine. Consequently, Joy is not on the Hangout today. So that's the reason for Joy not being here, and that's my sad computer story, and she was crying in the background because the computer may well be destroyed, and that's going to be the most expensive mastermind day I ever spent. Oh, it looks like it might work. Okay, round of applause for Joy, the computer mechanic. All right, good for you. So I'm not sure if we're out of the woods yet or not, but it looks like we might be. All right, so I'm done with the teaching tonight. I'm done with explaining what we did. Now here's your assignments. Everybody that watches this, whether you watch it live or watch it on a replay, please participate. You know, watching the principles for massive achievement, the principles for getting a lot done, the principles that I followed in my life to have 5 complete careers at a very high level won't do you any good at all. And I won't be able to help you any unless you're willing to participate and write some goals down, specific goals that you want, and then participate in this process along the way. So I would encourage you to do that. Let's fill up the chat box, or not the chat box.
What about the t-shirt, the contest?
Let's fill up the comment area with your goals. Be public. Use the force of public accountability. Use the force of putting in there with a date with some goals in it. All right, now that we have come to the awarding of the t-shirt part, I need some help. So anybody that's in the film strip, Kristen or Griswold or Christopher, if you guys want to get on, you can. Kristen, I know you were kind of keeping track a little bit of who had invited people. So we have to mail somebody this t-shirt, and wherever it is, South Pole, North Pole, Texas, New England, who cares? So do you have anything?
Okay, well, I invited a whole bunch of people, but I know for sure, because we have evidence on the film strip, or not on the film strip, but on the event page, that that we had someone that invited her friend who was on vacation, Ivana Taylor.
Yeah.
Or is it Ivana? Sorry. I don't know. Ivana?
I don't know.
We'll find out when she comes back.
Right. So, does she win?
I think so.
All right. Well, Kristen will be the decider because she was keeping more track of any of this than I was able to, being up here in Canada. So she will let me know, and whoever wins will have to send me a private message, I guess, about where you'd like the t-shirt sent, and I'll be happy to send it to you. Again, it's and the size you want too. Results on a Rampage t-shirt, you get to win that. All right, good.
And
Christopher.
I need someone to step forward and let me know if they did invite people. So yeah, just drop me a little PM.
All right, so this is kind of informal. We didn't have a whole contest page set up, and we didn't have secret security codes for people to enter. And any way to prove this, Joy's here. Yay!
Hi, Joy.
All right, so that's Christopher. I see you've joined us in live and in color. Are you? You're on the same time zone as me because I'm just north of you up in Sarnia.
For a change of pace.
Yeah, for a change of pace. So how are you tonight?
I'm doing well. And how is life in Ontario?
Life in Ontario has been amazingly cool the last few days. Not hot and not bad at all compared to what I was expecting. I was expecting awful things, and it has been very gentle on me.
He who expects nothing is seldom disappointed.
Yeah, but I always have enormous expectations of myself and everything. What's that? Oh, Joy wants me to tell you another ridiculous story. You're not going to believe this. So, as a chiropractor, you might want to plug your ears for this one. As a medical professional,
they're already plugged, but they've got earbuds. So.
Okay. So here's a funny story. On Sunday, I was messing around. Joy's bringing me the props. I was messing around with a spade, you know, the kind you charge your phone with, right? And I was walking over to where to plug it in. Yeah, and I was like, you know, twirling it around in the air like this, right? And I hit myself right smack in the eye with this USB end, right? This one end that goes in your computer. I mean, like dead square in the eye. And if it had not, yeah, pretty much. If I had not had my contact lenses in, I'm sure it would have ripped a hole in my cornea. As it was, those of you that know me know I wear 4 contacts. I wear hard lenses over soft because I have keratoconus. It blew the hard lens into 3 pieces. So it exploded the hard lens. It didn't damage my eye because the soft lens was underneath it. So, miracle of miracles, my eyes were preserved, and I got all the pieces of lens out of my eye without ripping anything apart and doing anything. So I spent the last 2 days of the mastermind with one eye that I can see and one eye not. And that's my idiot story of the day for being careless or silly or something. But anyway, so I called. Here's the funny part. I called my eye doctor on Sunday night, and I told him, dude, I told him what happened, right? I have his home number because he's a friend of mine besides. So I called him at home, and he says, oh, I'll order your contact right away. But they're specialty lenses because I have keratoconus, and so they're really, really steep hard lenses, like really, really sharp, you know, angles, because my corneas are mush. But anyway, so he got all done listening to the story, and he did the doctor thing. Kellen, don't do that. And I said, you think, Matt? Okay. Anyway, so that's the end of my story.
That's the Henny Youngman story. Doc, it hurts when I do this. Don't do that.
Yeah, okay, don't do that. So pretty much, Kellen, don't do that. I'm going to stop the broadcast because...
Oh, can we pull up Manny's real quick? Because he actually did his. He wrote his down. He wrote a goal.
Okay, all right. My goal is to have... Put it back up, Kristen, sorry.
Okay, got it.
There. My goal is to have core value alignment white paper done and on sale by July 30th.
Woo!
All right, that is 16 days. 15 days. So you've got 2 weeks, Manny. Thank you. That has a date. It has an accountability date. So a target and a date. Do what by when is how I always say that. Do what by when. So Joy's dancing behind me. Good for her. And now I'm going to end the broadcast. And I want to encourage anyone else that watches this after the fact, please put your goals in here. Let's use this as a public accountability. Do what by when. And help you achieve your own results on a rampage.